The Tao Te Ching chapter 46. In the ancient text the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu, we can see that each verse provides timeless wisdom on how we can bring peace and clarity into our daily lives. In this video series we will look at each chapter of the Tao Te Ching sequentially. First, let's listen to this verse of the poem, as beautifully translated by D.C. Lau, and then be prepared to delve into its deeper meaning. We usually use Stephen Mitchell's translation, but Lau seems more accurate to the original in this instance. Stay to the end to see how Mitchell's translation differs. After looking at the verse, we'll explore how its wisdom can help us find peace in our daily lives, even in a chaotic world. The poem reads, "When the way prevails in the empire, fleet-footed horses are relegated to plowing in the fields. When the way does not prevail in the empire, war horses breed on the border. There is no crime greater than having too many desires. There is no disaster greater than not being content. There is no misfortune greater than being covetous. Hence, in being content, one will always have enough." Here's a breakdown of the ideas. Peace redirects power. When the way prevails in the empire, fleet-footed horses are relegated to plowing in the fields. This line suggests that when the Tao, or way, is followed in the world, when natural harmony, virtue, and balance are present, there is peace. Horses that are normally trained for speed and war are not needed in battle. Instead, they serve humble, productive purposes like farming. This is a metaphor for a society where energy is channeled into creation and cooperation, not conflict. War reflects disorder. When the way does not prevail in the empire, war horses breed on the border. In contrast, when the Tao is not followed, there is disorder and unrest. Horses are not used for farming, but are bred for war at the edges of the state, symbolizing a society preparing for conflict. This is a picture of a world driven by ambition, control, and fear, rather than natural harmony. Desire is the greatest crime. There is no crime greater than having too many desires. Here, Lao Tzu pivots from the societal level to the personal. Excessive desire is described as the greatest crime. Not in the legal sense, but in the moral or spiritual sense. Too many desires pull us out of alignment with the Tao. They lead to restlessness, greed, and discontent. It's an internal imbalance that leads to external disharmony. Discontent is the deepest disaster. There is no disaster greater than not being content. The lack of contentment is seen as a disaster because it gives rise to all kinds of suffering. When we are never satisfied, we chase endlessly after things we think will make us happy, but in doing so, we disconnect from the present moment, and from the simplicity of life as it is. Greed is the root of misfortune. There is no misfortune greater than being covetous. Covetousness, envy, craving, or greed, is called the worst misfortune. It's not just a personal vice, it distorts perception and behavior, leading to exploitation, conflict, and dissatisfaction. Covetousness makes us always feel that what we have is not enough, keeping us in a state of lack and wanting. Contentment is true wealth. Hence, in being content, one will always have enough. This concluding line brings it all together. Contentment is the antidote to desire, disaster, and misfortune. It's not about having more, but about needing less. When we are content, we recognize the sufficiency of the present. We stop striving and start aligning with the Tao. From this space, peace, both internal and external, naturally arises. What are your thoughts on this verse? Are there any of these ideas that you particularly like? Let me know in the comments below. Applying these ideas. Start your day with gratitude. Each morning, name 3 things you're already thankful for, before reaching for your phone. Limit unnecessary desires. Before buying something new or chasing a goal, pause and ask, do I truly need this, or am I feeding my restlessness? Unplug from comparison. Take regular breaks from social media, to reduce envy and regain perspective. Focus on one thing at a time. Practice doing one task with full attention, no multitasking, no rushing. Create peace, not drama, in moments of tension. Choose to listen rather than argue, breathe rather than react. Reframe success. Instead of measuring your worth by achievements, measure by how present and peaceful you feel. Tend to what you already have. Care for your home, relationships, and self, like they are enough, because they are. End the day with contentment. Each night, say to yourself, I did enough. I have enough. I am enough. Can you think of any more practical applications of Lao Tzu's ideas? Comment below. If you've enjoyed the series so far, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. The takeaway message. If you take one message from this verse, it is this. When the heart is content, the world returns to peace. This line captures the essence of the verse in a gentle, timeless way. It suggests that peace doesn't begin with treaties or armies, but with the quiet stillness within each person. When we stop chasing more, and rest in enough, our inner world softens. And from that stillness, harmony flows outward. The outer world reflects the inner one. Here now is Stephen Mitchell's translation of verse 46. It encapsulates the spirit of Lao Tzu's verse rather than providing a literal translation. When a country is in harmony with the Tao, the factories make trucks and tractors. When a country goes counter to the Tao, warheads are stockpiled outside the cities. There is no greater illusion than fear, no greater wrong than preparing to defend yourself, no greater misfortune than having an enemy. Whoever can see through all fear will always be safe. You can see that Mitchell frames Lao Tzu's words in a modern context. Which of the two versions of the verse do you prefer? Comment below. Both translations show the depth, beauty and wisdom of Lao Tzu's thoughts. In essence, both translations point to this timeless truth. True peace arises from being content with what is, while conflict is born from unrestrained desire. Thanks for watching.